Hello friends, I am Shravana. Welcome to my channel Sparkling Future. In previous videos we have seen how to read a XML file, but that was just a basic XML. Today we will see how to read a nested XML file as a data frame in the in Spark using Scala. So before starting with the today's topic, I request all of you to subscribe to my channel and provide your feedback in the comment section. Thank you. So friends, this is the sample nested XML file we are dealing with that today. So if you see here, items is the root tag, item is the row tag. So in the file there will be multiplication of item row tags, and inside item row tags we have different tags like name, PPU, and again batters. Inside batters again some array of batter tags, and if you see here the topping is also an array of topping. So now we will see how to read this file in a data frame and how to flatten this structure. So let's look into some sample code for reading this XML as a data frame using Scala. So friends, this is the sample code I have written for this scenario. So before going ahead, so I'll just simply explain the overall code once. These are the import statements that are needed for working with XML and also for using the explode and other functions. And this is the Scala object that I have created and defined the main method. So this is the setup which is needed for resolving the exception related to utils, and also which gives you the permission to write or read any files into your local machine, and created the Spark variable. And friends, I have used this XML jar. This is the jar I have downloaded from Maven repository for working with XML files. And this is the data frame I have created for reading the XML. So before that, let me show you the complete XML. So friends, this is the XML that we are going to read today. In the sample XML, I have showed only one row tag. Here you can see the two row tags are there. One is as a name, another one is strawberry cake. One is the cake, second one is the strawberry cake. Because this is a sample file, I just gave some sample values. So now let's go to the code. So here if you see in the format, I'm just doing spark.read.format, and I am giving it as the XML. Here we have already imported the XML, so we can simply pass it as XML as well. And then for any XML files, it is needed to provide the root tag and row tag. Root tag is the items, which is the high level tag, overall high level tag, and row tag is the item, which is iterating as multiple records in that sample XML file. So this is the file, right? So this is the root tag and this is the row tag. And finally dot load. Here this is where I am passing that nested XML, that this is the XML we just saw now. Okay, now before flattening the entire structure, I'll show you step by step how to flatten that. So friends, let me run this code and show you how exactly it will look like if you just read the next nested XML. So if you see here, this ID is the ID which is present here. You can see, right? This is the ID, and type is the type which is present here in this. So inside the row, whatever attributes are present, even that will be read because of the XML format and root tag we have used, right, that jar file. Because of that it has in so many classes defined underlying it, and you are able to read all these minute details as well. And then batters, which is this one, and then name and PPU and topping. Here name, PPU, and this is the topping. So each record has all these tags. So ID and type are the attributes, and batters, name, PPU, and topping are the tags inside the row tag, which is item. and if you see the data here, these are coming as arrays but within the curly and these braces. So now how to flatten this structure? So there are multiple ways using map, and we can do regex, replace and all, but in today's session we will see how to read this using explode function. So initially, yes, so I have printed the schema as well. If you see, id and type are anyway long and string it has taken, and if you notice I am not passing any schema, so this is inferred using Spark. Okay, it internally inferred the schema based on the input file that we have provided. And if you see the batters, it's a struct schema, and inside batters we have array because multiple times this batter is repeated within this batters. If you see here, inside this batters multiple times batter is repeated, even though it's 3 are there, 3 are batter only, it's like array. And then name PPU, we have string and double, because we have cake and strawberry cake, it has considered as string, and in the PPU we have double, some decimal value. And then again topping, it has taken as array because it has duplicated, like the same tag is repeated for almost 6 times. So now it has, that's why it has considered that as array. And inside array we have value and id. This value and id are the attributes which are already present in that tag here, and also if you see here, id, and this is the value. Similarly for topping tag, this is the id and this is the value. So now let's see how to flatten this one. So next is this one. I have created many data frames here instead of doing the chain operation, because it will be easier for you to understand. We can collate all together and write a complex a single command for writing this entire statement. So now what I am doing this, I am commenting this because we don't want to print it unnecessarily. So from this data frame, which is here, you can see, right, in that in the down here you can see, I'm asking, I'm saying that select star, which means all the columns available, and then batters dot star, and as per this schema, batters is a struct. This struct we always select as dot star in Spark SQL. For struct data types we can always select them, and we can actually split them using struct dot star. We can call all of them using dot star. And then I am saying drop batters because it's already expanded. Whatever is available inside the batters is already, we are expanding. So we are I am saying that okay fine, I don't want to have duplicates in the column, so drop batters, and then with the column renamed. So what is this function is for? If you see here is underscore id underscore type is coming here. So for that I am saying that wherever underscore id is there, make it as id, and again with the column renamed underscore type, which is this second column, then make it as type. This is just for look and feel wise. So now we will print this df and let's see what exactly it prints. Let me put it as false, okay, so that the output is clearly seen. Like it will not truncate the column name, column details, if you add a false in the show function. Yeah, if you see now, you can clearly see that id and type, the column names are renamed, name and PPU are coming. And if you see the topping and batter, earlier one extra brace was there here. I don't know whether you have noticed it or not. I mean, it has become like a like array. Now we can actually print this the schema and we can see the difference. Can see here, right? To earlier it was struct, but now the topping is turned as array. Even the batter became array. Earlier we had struct in both of these places. Okay, next. So now we know that we have the arrays. So how to read arrays in data frame? Using explode we can split it as a multiple columns. So now let me run this. So this df I have created based on the rest df, like previous one where I have selected and I have used a dot star out of the struct, and I have renamed the columns, right? This is the df out created for all those transformations. So now I am using that df here, and now I am saying that because if you see we have like nested structure inside this topping and batter. I wanted to flatten that as well. So what I am telling that is, because these two are arrays now, I can use explode functionality. If you wanted to have more details about explode, you can check my previous videos. I'll provide that in the I button. And here I am saying with column batter, explode whatever is having in from this rest df, result df, wherever is the batter, explode that. The same way for topping also explode this. Now let's see. I'll write it here, explode df dot show, and also we will see the schema. This is just to understand how to deal with different types of data. That's why I'm printing schema, otherwise not required. So if you can see here, topping and batter, the explode function has split that into multiple columns. Like earlier it was this 6 50012 to 5006. So all these things were coming as a single field. If you see the sample here also, you can see, right, all these were coming in the single field. But whereas now, because I have used explode function, it has created a separate row for each of these values. So why? Because the explode function works like that. It's actually similar to lateral view function in Hive. If you have worked in Hive, you can clearly compare between these two things, and you can relate that as well. So now similarly, for wherever is for this batter as 1002, it might have created 6 rows, because here we have 6 values under toppings. And here, because I have just given show, by default it is giving 20 rows, but if I give show of 100, maybe it will clearly show all the available rows, or more than how many ever rows we want, we can give in the show. And if you see the schema that was created out of it is id, long name, ppu. I am not touching because these are anyway straightforward ones. And if you see now topping, now earlier it was array, so that's why we have used explode. And now it says struct, because it has become like a structure. Whatever is coming with the curly braces, it won't consider that as array, so it's considered that as a struct, which is having one value and id. This is the value and this is the id. This is the value and this is the id. So because of that, we have under topping, which is considered as a struct type, has value and id. Similarly for batter, struct type, value and id. Now let's see how to flatten even that. So now here first I'm splitting only the topping. I will tell you the reason because of that. Okay, here uh, from the explode df, whatever we have seen, right, id, type, name, ppu, and topping and batter. So here I am taking only topping because if you see the values inside it, both have underscore value underscore id. Here also same. So if I mean explode it again, in the sense if I flatten it at a time, then I will have a four values like same with underscore value underscore id. So it might be difficult for me even to rename. So I wanted to go step by step so that it will be easier for me. So for that, first I am selecting that because topic here topping is a struct. Now struct types can be directly read using dot star method in spark sql. So let me print this and show you the output. So if you see here, for the topping, underscore value underscore id is created. It has become like a normal columns, like any other columns in the data frame. It's fully flattened. So now let me rename them. So why I am considering in two steps is there is same columns, I mean duplicate of the value and id being used and from both the topping and batter columns. So because of that I am doing that in a different steps. So now with the column renamed, wherever underscore value is there, make it as topping value, and with the column renamed, wherever id is there, make it as topping id. Then finally drop the column topping and then select the batter dot star. So by now it would have become like value and id would have changed the column. So that's why I am doing the select here. So let me print this df and see the output. As Spark follows lazy evaluation, if we wanted to execute some transformations, we have to hit using action. So once this action is triggered, then only it will show. That's why every time I'm giving it as show. And if you see now, the topping value and topping id names are changed from underscore value id to these are changed, and the batter details, like these batter details are I mean unfolded now. Earlier it was coming like that, right? So now it's unfolded. So I'm creating a final df for flattening the even batter structure type. So here what I am doing, that is from the previous data frame, like which has already flattened structure, I'm just asking them to rename to batter id and batter value, then finally drop the batter and then finally show it. So if you see here at id, type, name, ppu, topping value and topping id, batter value and batter id, full flattened structure we have made out of this nested xml. So friends, this is one of the ways to flattening the structure. So we can actually use data frame.map as well for mapping each column, and also we can use fold left for providing the I mean renaming the column or performing the explode for the given values. So there are many ways and this is one of the ways. And I hope this is very clear to you friends. Let me know if you have any queries, and share your valuable comments in the feedback section, comment section. Thank you very much friends.